Okay, late night Lama live. Only due to peer pressure on the Maven's channel. Mave just went live. We had a bit of fun in the comments and everyone's telling me go live because Maven's now gone to bed. So hopefully everyone comes over. Luke Robinson, how you doing? Let me just get set up here, mate. I've actually got pants on, I've got a shirt on. I really was sitting there in my jocks just talking crap with Mave and the crew. So let me get set up and I'll take some questions and we'll just talk some shit. So I've got crap everywhere in this room, as you can probably see. Here's my training room with everything. Just give me a sec for the questions to pop up. Get me somewhere to sit. And yes, I have pants. Oh God, lucky I did the fly up because I really was sitting there in my jocks watching Mave's live channel. Alrighty, almost there, guys. One sec. Get my camera to stand still. There we go. And one moment. This must be the most boring YouTube video ever. How's the light? Is that too much? It is for there. That's alright for there. I'm not going to sleep after this because it's too much light. That's way too bright. That was my camera falling over. Sorry, guys. This is so temporary. How is that for brightness? That's completely shagged. One moment. I haven't even got the top of my head on. Hang on. That's still not that good, is it? I have no scalp. I have no hat either. Alrighty. Now, do we use this chat to talk about Maven? Absolutely. I missed the start of his. I only got into the last bit. Yeah, I am dressed. Who is this Joker, Johnny? Can I turn the lights off? Oh, okay. This camera's doing absolutely shocking. Yeah, fucking hell. No, that's as good as we're going to get. Sorry. If you want to see the top of my head, there it is. Why don't I do the indie pack? No way. Look, I said on my live stream the other day, I like riding bikes, but not that much. C&B for Maven, absolutely. That's much better. The reflection on the top of my head, yeah, cool, thanks. Just to put the screen on that scum, yeah, we'll get some sun. I've lit this room right up for all the live stuff that I do. Or not the live stuff, just the stuff I do for the channel. The autofocus when it's dim is just really crap. Do the indie pack backwards. That'd be into a headwind. Is that your head a solar panel? Yep. Are you a comedian? Nope. So questions below. We'll have a bit of a chat. I said 5 minutes, we might go on. Indie pack on Zwift. Look, I think they're looking at doing some Fondo style rides on Zwift. I'd be all for that. That'd be pretty cool. Let me get that light sorted. That's pretty shit. Yeah, these head jokes. Yeah, it doesn't bother me. I can't do much about it. Your thought on the Indie Pack route? Absolutely. But the Victorian Alps part of the Indie Pack is going to be killer. Because that might work a little bit better for the light. Hang on, guys. The Victorian Alps section of the Indie Pack looks crazy. And I've done absolutely nothing for the lighting there, but that's what we're going to live with for tonight. They go up what's called WTF Hill, or WTF Corner, I think, at the back of Falls. That'd be freaking hard work after that far. My cassette is skipping on the kicker. Try a new cassette, try a new chain. Best I can do for that. Look, these questions pop up pretty quick, so if I haven't seen your question, just bang it out to me again, and I'll give my best at answering it. Best turbo sessions to get for summer. Okay. 5 to 8 minutes at threshold, flat out into 10-second sprint, 10 seconds off, 10-second sprint, 10 seconds off, 10-second sprint, 5 minutes off. Back into the sprints again, so 10 seconds on, 10 seconds off, like just thrash yourself, and then back into a TT mode. The session lasts about 20 minutes, you won't walk after it. Do a few of those a week and you'll be flying. I'll cover that in the channel one day soon with a bit more structure than what I just blurted out then. Riding indoors is as fun as outdoors? No, it's just another option to ride though. If it's busy outside and I can't get to a hill, I just jump on the bikes here and away we go. We get the efforts done. Doesn't replace it. It complements it quite well for fitness though. I don't know why everyone's talking about low gearing for the Indy Pack. Like there's only, I haven't studied the route that much. Australia doesn't have any like big ass berg that's going to absolutely rip everyone's legs off. I'd go with 39.20. I don't think there's going to be anything too hard. There's nothing. WTF corner at the back of Falls, if they come up that. Is that past Omeo and up the back? That's probably about it. I can't think of anything more. Am I doing the Indy Pack? Nope. No way. Weight of the bike, I'm not sure if that's for me. Low gearings from Durian Rider. Okay. Oh, spinners are winners. That's his thing, isn't it? The more weight do you... Okay, yeah, sure. So weight of the bike, lower gearing. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I get that. Always could have more gears than you needed. Yeah, okay, yep. Why do you think the bikepackers always have a compact? I thought they're all Hubbards, but okay, I'll be proven wrong. No. The weight thing is a good one. I never thought of that. I'm not a bikepacker. I'm not a tourer. I chuck everything off the bike and we go hard. How old am I? I'm 38. I've been told I look 64. Thanks to that guy. Best carbon wheel set? The non-carbon wheels. Carbon wheels for race day. Downhills and descending. If you see my descending videos, I like to push a bike pretty hard down a hill. Carbon wheels are just fucking scary. Inconsistent braking, they overheat. Tubulars are a little better, but you really don't get that sort of braking that you do on a big sort of alloy set of wheels. I love my RS81s I've got at the moment. Pick them up nice and cheap because I'm a tight ass. Got them an auction for about 400 bucks. Touring bikes, 25 kilos. Holy shit. Yeah, I guess that's why you need some decent gearing. Any cheap smart trainers I'd recommend? Like power meters, cheap doesn't really give you a good experience. There's some good cheap wheel-on ones. I've done a full My Trainer Review Guide in my words in little paragraphs up on the GPLama.com. Have a look at that and see what's suitable. Have I ridden 303s? No. I've got a 404 front wheel and an 808 front wheel and a head stinger 90. Not 303s. Cubo, you like it? Yeah, the Cubo's alright. Choose through tyres, but it's a cheap introduction. Pedal based or crank based? Both. Go both. Hey, good story about the P1s today. I planted a pedal on the last corner of a crit and ground a few. Actually, I can take the camera and show you, but the lighting will be all shagged. But I really scraped the corner of them right off. They're a little bit higher on the stack, both ways. But yeah, they're fine. So I ground the pedal into the ground. I didn't lift the back of the bike up, so I didn't stack it. And the video's uploading now of the entire crit. It's probably as boring as shit, but the data overlay's there, so I put it on the background and fast forward to the last lap. It's pretty cool. A lot of people pinging off the front. Bepo power meter pedal are nice shit. Yeah, aren't they the ones that they mess with your Q factor though, so your feet go out a little further? Yeah, I mean it might work, but again, there's compromise when you go cheap. Sorry for the questions that are flopping up on here really quickly. So if I don't see your question, you want to get it answered, just bang it out to me a few times. Did the heart rate get a boost? The heart rate was already through the roof. It was pinging. It wasn't going any higher. Gay fag. Thanks, Dylan. Good job, mate. They're the same Q factor as the regular look pedals. Okay. Have you seen the new look power pedals? No, I haven't. I'm keen to see what the Shimano power... I saw the Shimano power tap for the Dura-Ace. That's going to be interesting. If it's a decent price point for the Shimano Dura-Ace, which will be power meter, which will be built into the whole group set, you're going to see people like 4i, Stages, they're going to really take a hit. Did the power meter touch you in a bad place? I touched it in a bad place, but it still read perfectly, so I'm happy with that. I sort the Garmin 820. Yeah, the firmware, 5.20 firmware for the Garmin, fixed it for the 820. Really fixed a lot of the issues I had with the touchscreen. So that's really handy. The issue with YouTube is though, once you put a rant video up or look, this is my shitty experience video up, you can't go back and change it. You can put annotations there. So I do follow-up videos, and the 520 firmware has done pretty well. Sorry, the questions are flying past. Again, just double up with the questions if I don't see them. Summary of pros and cons for wheel-on, wheel-off trainers. Direct drive's the only way to go. Wheel-on trainers, you wear out the tyre. There's so many variables involved in getting accurate power. Direct drive are getting a bit cheaper these days. What would be my dream bike? I'm not really a bike as in an equipment bike person. I ride a giant TCR I picked up second hand. Not about the bike. Every day you're preferring the Wahoo or the 820. I'm using the 820 at the moment. Now here's why. Sorry, just hold the questions for a sec because they keep flying past. The reason why I use the 820 is because this room here has about quite a few trainers and quite a few amp power meters and things like that. On the Element, you can't select, if you've got a whole pool of sensors, you can't select what sensor you want to actually use and read. That's a big pain in the ass. What else is with the Element? It can't read power off a number of the smart trainers. It needs to connect to them via Bluetooth. There's a few little hiccups with the Element that my Edge case just can't use it. But stay tuned for that. I mean, the guys are working on the Element all the time. Wheel-on's too noisy. Need to calibrate. Cycling Choice got it for the wheel-on, but they are cheaper. So again, compromise. Anything Mavis can do, Lama can do better? No. Mavis is going to kick everyone's ass, all of our asses for the distance in the Indy Pack. Man, just attempting that. Holy crap. Will smartphones overtake Garmin head unit market? Absolutely not. They're not rugged enough. Glass screens, not waterproof. Look, they'll get close, but phones are going bigger and bigger, whereas Garmin's are sort of small. Yeah, they're good, but disc or rim brake. I like the idea of discs. For descending, I'd be all over them. But we can't race them. Even as amateurs, we can't actually race them. The pros can race them, well, some can, some can't. But we can't race them. So anyway, they're off the cards for now. Becoming a pro starting at 30, not going to happen. FTPs, you're still increasing. Well, mine does that and does that when you don't train and goes back up. So it's ever fluctuating. You'll get to what I call a genetic limit. The whole philosophy of work hard, you'll make it, doesn't work in cycling. Work hard, you'll get to your potential. What that is, that's the part you train for. Did I ever have clonder? I can't even pronounce that word, so I probably don't have it. Is that sort of like alopecia? I've still got eyebrows. Can I recommend a beginner Garmin? Go to the top, 820. What was my FTP when I first started cycling? I didn't know because I didn't have a power meter. It's always hovered around 330 to 360, but depending on the weight as well. So that number means absolutely nothing until you know my weight, which is hovered around 69 to 72 kilos. Simulation. Oh, sorry. Big questions. Shoot me an email. What secret event I'm training for? No, I'm not going to tell you. When did I start riding? About 12 years ago, I think it was. Smart bikes. No. Not even going to talk about smart bikes. They don't belong in this world. Well, not my world. That's a stir. T-shirt brand. I don't know. This is, hang on. Can you read? Is that got a sign? Has that got some bike company on it? One got it for me over in the States. E-bikes, get out of town. Mission Bicycle Company. There we go. Thank you. It's pretty cool. One got it from in the States. Any experience with big saddle, the handlebar drop? I wouldn't even know what my drop actually is. It's just whatever I find comfortable and whatever's worked. Aero's huge in a road bike though. If you can get aero gains on a road bike, hell yeah. I ran 36 bars or 38s. I find that comfortable. People say they're too skinny. Well, my other bike is like that, so they're not too skinny. 25 or 28 tyres. I wouldn't go 28s. 25 for the road stuff that I do. But I use the 23/25 Specialized Roubaix, whatever they are. Best Garmin at the moment, 820. Any off the bike exercise? None. I sit on the couch. Literally, I do nothing off the bike. Never have, never lifted a weight. I've done some small balance exercises once I broke my hip to get my muscle balance right. But off the bike, no weights, nothing. My limiter is cardio. and it hasn't helped me. Anything else hasn't really helped me. Do I coach? No, only myself. Garmin or Wahoo, both, depending on the situation. Garmin's are really good for devices and having multiple devices. The Element is really, really good for showing big numbers on the screen. And if you're descending and you want to see just the road, I'll put another video out on that soon. I only like Democrat Lamas. I don't do politics a lot. Not that I talk about on here. Genetic ceiling. When do you reach your genetic ceiling? Well, it depends how hard you train, that I've found. I reckon you'd sort of know within about 2 or 3 years about where you're going to get to, whether you're going to be an A grader or a C grader or a D grader or a B, wherever you end up. You get there pretty quick, but it does depend on your training volume. And then it gets to the marginal gains, like you can train twice as much for 1%. Is that worth it? Not for me. Okay, someone going nuts with that. Ever cycled in Mallorca? No, I haven't. Any idea how hot rims get under braking? Carbon rims get crazy hot, as in you can't touch them with your fingers. They burn, they melt pads. I've had a set of carbon rims where I've come to the bottom of a descent and kept the brakes on, and then you let go of the brakes and they're gripped to the wheel. They are that hot. They scared me, those set of wheels. Does the heat reduce braking? Yeah, it does. I get really soft. Speed difference between 24 and 50 mil wheels. Not really. You can hear it a little bit. You feel faster. But what you actually, like speed, I don't even have speed showing on the Garmin. Any time trial, it's just power and time. But you don't really feel speed. You go a bit quicker. But, you know what I mean, when you're talking 1 or 2%. Race win, cheers man. Video go up to 24 hours I think it's going to take for that race win video to go up. Moo, I'm a llama. No, that's a cow. Thanks for playing. Carbon post and alloy frame, yeah, but I'd treat it with something first as well, so you don't get that corrosion. Have a look at Rao's channel for all the carbon stuff about that. More comm hunting in Perth, maybe if I can get back to Perth. I love Perth. We spent 3 months there, I think. It wasn't last year, the year before. Really love that place. My first bike was a giant OCR back in 2003. My first real road bike anyway. Can I lick your head? Holy fuck, YouTube. Really? How long to reach your maximum FTP achievable? I said before, I reckon it's probably about 2 or 3 years of proper training. You'll know pretty soon if you've got it or not. And then it's just wherever you want to take your cycling, I guess. Why don't I race anymore on the road? That's a confusing question because I raced about 12 hours ago on the road. I don't do, like, for 10 years we chased races all around Victoria. But just the hours of training. It's just hours and hours and hours and hours of training to tick a few boxes. You see in my videos over here, that's the yellow jersey from Tour of Bright. That was a box I wanted to tick. I've won that one twice. I've won the time trials I've always targeted back in the day. So I'm not going to get any more out of cycling. So now it's just for the enjoyment, not for just slaughtering myself. It's one of the hardest things about training is to continue doing the same shit over and over and over for the same outcome as last year and the year before and the year before. If you've done it, it gets very repetitive. That's also the easy part about training because you know if you follow what you do and follow these the guidelines and the steps, you'll get some good results out of your body, assuming you don't get sick and things like that. But doing the same shit year in, year out, do you live 3 or 4 years or do you live the same year 3 or 4 times? All about the new experience. So new targets and new things like that. But yeah, I raced today out on the road. Advice for someone doing their first century, work up to it. Drink lots. Supplements, not big on the supplements. Better alanine and things like that. And most supplements for for really short stuff. So your prologues, your pursuits, your kilos, your lactic acid buffering sort of stuff. For the longer stuff, there's no shortcuts. If you're doing 10K, 15K, 16K time trials, 100K road races, no amount of beetroot juice or suppositories are going to help you out with that. It's fitness and time in the saddle. Your fruitcakes work well until Safeway halved those friggin' fruitcakes. They used to be a big 600 gram fruitcake. Now they're half that for twice as much money. Bastards. Have we ever done a triathlon? I do the bike leg in triathlon. I do all right as a time trialist. Running, not my thing. Swimming, not my thing. We've swum always as kids and stuff. Mum put us through Vic Swim. Here in Victoria, Australia, I'm super, this is weird, I'm talking about swimming on a bike stuff. Our mum put us through as kids, my sister and I, through swimming. Chucked us in the pool, taught us how to swim as kids, and that's a skill we've always had for life. So, yeah, that's one thing I'd be doing if my kids, if I ever have kids, is teaching them how to swim. But I don't do any triathlons, the two end parts. I do the middle bit. Who am I? Good question. We'll try and figure it out. Cole's still the big fruitcake. Aha, I've got to get to Cole's. Hardest climb I've ever done. I don't know. It's not the climb, it's more how I was at the time. You can go up let's just say a 20K climb, 10K climb. If you're feeling like shit, that's the hardest climb you've ever done. Steepest climb and longest climb is two different things, but the hardest one is just when you're feeling like shit. It's the mental game. Remember we drove back we did a time trial over in Adelaide. We had the Adelaide State Masters Champs for the time trial. We drove back that night and then we're out at Donabuang 6 a.m. the next morning and it was pissing down rain. I felt like absolute shit. I think I just averaged a 320 or 330 up there when I should have been way higher than that with my numbers. That was probably the hardest climb. That was one where, I just felt like just hanging the bike up and just had a really shit day on the bike. Does the upcoming vegan... look, the vegan stuff, that's fine. They can do their thing. That's just not my thing. I appreciate people being fit and eating healthy. That's fine, but just not what I do. My tax bottle. That's not an advertisement. Oh, now I've only got another tax bottle to grab. I think in about 2 or 3 weeks I'll have another flux to break. Or try and break. I'll do everything I can to try and break it because if it doesn't break, we're good. It's good. Strength training I do on the bike itself. I can show you that. Everyone knows the channel. They know I love this trainer. That's the Lama trainer. So, whack it in the 5311 on that. Load up the legs, go hard. That's one of my favourite sessions. Takes the stress off the cardio, puts it straight onto the legs, and it's always a good workout. How many bottles for a 50-mile ride? What, 70 Ks? Depending on the heat. Depends on the heat. If it's a cold day, you won't drink a lot. Ever going to try Everesting? No, not on the cards. There was a climb called Yarra Street down the road here. I did 100 laps of that once. Somebody did, I think it was Simon Clark, did 30 laps of that. So I set out one day and went 30? I think we can do more. I did 50 one day, went back the next week and did 100. That was 4,500 meters of climbing in 6 hours. I'm done with that. That's too hard. Seven laps. Yeah, 10 by up Yarra Street's pretty handy. By the 3rd or 4th one, you're like, what the hell is this? Good training though. But if you have a sight, if you've got a goal to set, it's 10. The day I had 50, I'm like, shit, am I going to make this? And 100, it was like, okay, what's going to break first? Is it my mind, my legs, gearing? I actually had to tape up my hands because grabbing the bars is terrible. Should Brailsford resign? Team Sky. Pfft. Pro cycling so far in the stratosphere and so far beyond any shit that I do. It's not even really worth commenting on. What cycle computer should I get? Whichever one you can afford. If you don't like it, go buy one. If you don't like it, just sell it on eBay. Go get another one. Life's too short to piss around worrying about what to buy. Just jump in at one, and if it doesn't work, get another. Same thing with smart trainers. If you get one that you don't like, just sell it. Get another one. Shane for Indie Pack? Nope. Do you do core training? Nope. I do different training on the bike though. So, as I said before, with my Le Mans, I do strength efforts, low cadence, load the legs. for high cadence stuff, really light gear. Ever met Durian Rider? Is he a douche? No, Harley's a great guy. He really is. I've met him a few times. Again, I don't go into the vegan sort of evangelist type stuff. That's fine. That can be put over there. But no, he's polite, nice, treated me with respect. So yeah, I'll give him respect back. Helmet tan lines, yeah, man, I do. You can't see them now because I usually wear my Evade for that very reason. In summer, I wear the Evade so I don't get tiger stripes. Oh, Garmin units for night riding. I think any of them, if you put the backlight on, they're okay. Specialized Evade. I've got a whole stack of TT helmets, but that's like the okay-ish road helmet that you can get around, wearing around as a road helmet without looking too much like a dickhead. You get to smell fish once from the Neo. Sweet, that's good sprinting. Masters hour record. No, look, I enjoy cycling. I don't want to hate it. Like smashing your balls in the saddle for that long. And riding in the velodrome is really, really different. Your power will oscillate on the corners. It goes up and down. Nah, give me a long straight road and a carrot at the end. I'll chase. Go. My cycle computer, never used one. Don't know. Duncan, thanks for watching, mate. Enjoy your lunch. I gotta get to bed soon. It's late here. This is late night stuff. 4i power meter. Trying to get a hold of one. Haven't. The theory of them is good. You can actually recalibrate them if they're a little bit out. So that'd be perfect for me to calibrate them off a Neo or a Driver or something to make sure they're spot on. Haven't gotten one yet though. Someone said sprinting tips before. I'm probably not the guy to answer for sprinting tips. More of a time trialist. I get off the front and sprint a little group rather than a big bunch. Max watts. But there's a lot of technique stuff there as well. Technique you can't learn indoors. What's with your bald head? What's with your attitude? But any other questions about training or anything else on the what's my max watts? 1450 I think I've seen when I'm going well. Not there at the moment though. Does Von race? Yeah, Von's raced. She raced for an NRS team for a few years. I think one of Von's best achievements was the Australian Masters Women's Time Trial record. Slane and I were teaming up and training so hard that year, 2014. And Von came along and took all the benefits we were learning and all the tips, the training we were doing. Von was just sort of like, oh, I'm going to do those as well. She came along. Von got herself a Shiv with a Quark. We've got tons of helmets and stuff here, so Von put that on. We've got good skin suits. We gave Von all the tech. We gave her the best opportunity to train with us and like us, and she went and smashed the women's national title for the M30 to 35 age group. I was in tears when she won. I was so proud. And that entitles her to have the little stripes. You know, it's your national champ. Fuck, how good is that? So happy for her. Best TT helmet? That depends on your head and your back. I've purchased all the new ones, and none of them are as fast as my old one for me. My max heart rate, 192 at the moment, but ideal body fat percentage, no idea. Less than what we've all got, probably. Strava app or Garmin barometer. Yeah, I'll go into that some other time. Are you on Periscope? No. Annual cycling budget? Mine, unlimited. I don't know. I've got no idea. G'day mate from WA. G'day, I love WA. We had a great time over there. We raced the Collie Donnybrook Handicap. What else did we race? The Masters Series over there. Time trials with Atta. Really, really good place to ride. I like it over there. Am I a weight weenie? No, look, no. I don't go nuts with having everything super light. Flat time trials, doesn't matter. It's CDA. What's a better bike, Giant or S-Works? The Rider. The S-Works that I have had a better fit on the front end than the Giant. But I've made the Giant work at one today. Power meter on a budget, 4i or stages, but you're looking at compromise. Cheap doesn't mean good. Well, compromise. Racing on Zwift a good form of training? Yes, because it'll add structure. That's all. But I mean, like jumping on the turbo and going nuts and going, drilling yourself and reaching a new level and breaking through barriers of training you haven't done before, absolutely. But if that's the kind of training you're always going to be doing or always done in the past, you won't see any benefit. So it's about finding not hitting that plateau. If you can keep going up, and if Zwift training gives you that incentive, cool. What's my stem length? Isn't that a personal question? 120 on the S-Works, 110 on the Giant TCR. Could talk about angle? Would I ride in winter or train a row? Would I ride outside in winter? I hate getting cold. I'm too old for that now. Getting soft. If I can get the same workout indoors, I'll choose indoors. But if it's something specific to outdoors, like sprinting, or even time trialing, like getting your head down in the right spot, you've got to get outdoors. Indoors just complement, doesn't replace outdoors at all. Cleat float, 0. On the, I use the blue cleats on the, probably got them here. These blue cleats on Shimano's, and the 0 degree on the P1s. The 0 degrees on the P1s have been fantastic, really, really good. How can I write English well? You're asking the wrong person. I murder the English language. Zwift races are hell. I agree. There's no soft pedaling, and it's bloody hard work. Super hard work. The draft's a bit off, so you go to attack and you roll off the front rather than dive into this. It's hard work. So yeah, they're all training sessions. I'm not sure if I can scroll back past the questions. Let me have a crack. Oh, I can. Would you get the S-Works frame warranted with the front derailleur? Oh, my S-Works frame's got the front derailleur bloody zip tied on from years ago. I had it warranted once before. I'm just not going to bother anymore. Do I eat food? Yeah. Yeah. Bets on the Giro? I don't know. SBS aren't going to have them live, so we're not going to be able to watch the Giro. What the hell's with that? That sucks. I guess it means that we get the we don't get the actual jet lag of watching telly in the middle of the night over here. Is bike fit worth paying for? If you've never had one, yep. If if you're not quite sure what you're doing, you're new to cycling, yes, get a bike fit. Buy Eurosport Play. Can we buy Eurosport here? I'm not sure. Usually you've got to buy it as a package deal, and it's the add-on. So. Electronic or mechanical? I'm all mechanical at the moment, mainly because I pay for all my own stuff and I'm a tight ass. Also, I know how to fix it straight away, and Von's on mechanical as well. So we like to have everything sort of the same and it just works. And they are no faster at all. SBS the dogs. I think it was they weren't offered the rights to it or something. I haven't gone into why or how. I can't deal with Zwift riders who do 300 watts for the hour and 100 watts outside. Just beat them outside. Yeah, to be on Foxtel. Yeah, I haven't even looked at the options. I think there's procyclinglive.com has a few links, but then, yeah, little pop-ups and the security issues there with all the malware and crap that have on those sites. Steephill.tv, yeah, they have quite a few links as well. We'll have to look into options for VPNs and things. Where did Lama come from? It was a nickname from high school, way back. One about powies and quarks. Do I normally get higher power readings on your Wahoo versus your quark? No, I make sure they're all lined up, and if they're not, I make sure their issues spin down. Usually everything's pretty good. Everything's pretty lined up for the stuff that I have. If it's out by any more than a few watts, yeah, I'm not happy. There are drivetrain losses, there are measurement point losses and things like that, but they've got to be. My age, I'm 38. I'm going to fing you and kill you. Fing. Well, the fact you can't even spell the word find, I think I'm pretty safe, mate. What kind of training do you do what do you in the follow in the winter time? Well, that's pretty much our road race season, the winter time over here. But look, I'm just always try and be within about 6 weeks of race fitness if any race comes up I want to do. Best TTs around Melbourne. The scene's changed a lot. It used to be the Q Boulevard TT. Now all the TTs are way out. So there's not got a good regular ones. Best TTs in Australia? Perth. So I'm just scrolling through these. Whose head's more aero, yours or Maven's? I think it'd be a pretty close call. Ever seen the Power Pod? Is that the front air sucking device in the front of a bike? I've not seen one. I know how they work, but thoughts of Rafa and RCC. Von's a member of Rafa. I can't afford any of their gear. It's too overpriced for what I do. I fall off my bike and break shit. And I'm just not part into that scene. But for what Von uses, and I see the social aspects of that, cool. Why are Perth TT so good? Because they're windy and they're there. Of course, they're pretty good too. Any good group rides in St Kilda? Mate, just hit Beach Road. There are it's like pelotons and pelotons and pelotons of people on Beach Road. I think bunchridefinder.com or .com.au, you might be able to hook up with a few different rides from there. Best brand of clothing for racing? Whatever someone gives you, you don't have to pay for. Usually the best. I go tight fitting, and if you can get technical material such as the Elsa material from Champ Sis, a few other companies are now going more into the technical brands. I've had a few kit companies come to me and say, I want to make a Lama kit brand and you can promote it. That's great, but I need to know the benefit. Is it aero? Is it being wind tunnel tested? Is it technical fabrics? Is it bonded seams? That's the shit I'm into. The stuff that I wear at the moment, whatever's been given to me for free. Damage to frame and dropout on the trainer, true or false? True, but let me explain. If you put a bike into the rear dropouts into the frame, I'll do another live one day and we'll show you this, but you lock the frame in, and if you're moving the bike up and down in the front, it's going to grind them out. And if you're moving around and it's not clamped in right, things are going to bust. But it's just like if you had a race wheel in and out of the rear wheel, it wears out. So you just have to be careful with that and use the correct skewer. Doing that, my S-Works has lasted 4 or 5 years in an indoor trainer, so it's fine for me. A lot of rumours going around about bikes breaking in trainers. We can't find the evidence though. We're still searching. The truth is out there. Invest in a power meter or smart trainer first. I'd evaluate your current financial situation, and if your kids need food, feed them first. Buy flowers for your wife. Very last thing you do is worry about a power meter. I'm bad at advice like that. The training plans on Zwift, I don't use them. I don't use workout mode. I can't stand erg mode. I use the free world to do whatever I need, or switch it off and just... that's just where I've come from. I've trained indoors for years. I'll see if I can use the block command. This would be interesting. I can... Oh yeah, sweet. Remove. Done. Hey. Take that. If I have my time racing, would I do anything different? Not crash as much early on. Probably start a bit earlier. But no, I look back at all the racing I've done. I'm pretty happy with all the boxes I've ticked there. Favorite video I've made? Every video is like... It doesn't come out the same way as you've got up here. You've got an idea, you come out with it. They don't really work that well. The things that I like don't work well on the channel. Things that work well on the channel are things like, I'm like, really? Like wheel balancing. Like I've done that for years. It's not a biggie. It's just get the wheels sorted. That's gone. So that was pretty cool. The Zwift on a budget one. I did that with shitty mics, shitty lighting, shitty camera, and just show people how to set up Zwift from scratch. Like here's a blank space. 1, 2, 3, it's all set up. That video's got over 100,000 hits. MTB course on Zwift would be sick. Agreed. I want steering. I want to be able to just turn off to the side and choose my own route, or put people into the barriers, or take a corner a bit quicker, or something like that. I want steering. Would I purchase a frame made by Raoul? Well, if you offered them, sure. Because you'd know inside it'd be bloody good. Have you seen Raoul's channel? Again, shout out to Raoul Lucia, Lucia Technique, Carbon Bike Repair. He's got some brilliant videos going up recently. Have a look at today's video that he put up on the Bianchi. Has anyone watched the Bianchi video from today that Raoul put up? It's a dog's breakfast inside. It is a sack of shit. It is terrible. Could I be any more blunt with that? Yeah, Raoul's lean. Watts per kilo gains. Yeah, go follow Raoul. It'd probably be a recommended video or channel from off mine somewhere through here. His stuff is really, really cool though. It's one of those things that work on social. If it's unique and interesting for all of us, yeah, he'll go well. And his channel's gone through the roof. It's great to see. Broke 5 Bianchis in 6 months. That model. It's amusing but not surprising. How would you go about pacing a 60k TT, percentage of FTP? That really depends, because people can hold different percentages of FTP as well. So can you TT close to your VO2 max? My VO2 is shit, really, really shit, but I can TT pinging right on that VO2. So it's like a high charge, a supercharged V6 versus a V8 that just sort of chugs along. Really depends on your numbers. Can I do a Lama live with Von slaying Maven route? Man, that'd be hard to get everyone in shot. But yeah, sure, anything's possible. Mountain biking ? I've done the what do they call it in Canberra? The Mont 24. We did a team Mont 24. Footy team, don't really follow footy. Not Essendon. Hey, did everyone see Essendon signed a pharmaceutical? Who are they? There was a pharmaceutical company as a sponsor today. God, what was it? Anyway, hilarious. Only the Aussies will get that. But what the hell? From a PR perspective, do you really want to announce that you've signed a pharmaceutical brand or a chemist or something as a major sponsor or a naming sponsor after what Essendon have just gone through? Andrew B got it. Like, I mean, that's how it works. You've got to get money from somewhere. But you'd think you just sort of keep that one on the side and like, oh, thanks guys, we'll get our protein powder from you guys. Like Lance signing for Bayer. Yeah, Amgen and the EPO stuff, yeah. Look, I want to believe they're clean and believe they're all good. But shit. Yeah, last year I had a competitor of mine, and it's sort of someone I went head to head with for years and years come out as being on EPO. I was fucking pissed off. I've done a video on that, but I didn't publish it. But I beat the guy mostly by this much every fucking race, so I was pretty happy with that. Anyway, TU East for Essendon. All right, I'll give it a few more minutes, guys. I'm going to kill my data quota for this month. Essendon coaches are farmers. So look, there's... We won't go too hard on this, but there is science and there's... Yeah, I mean, you've got to have healthy athletes, and they're pushing it, but yeah... Please do the EPO video. No, I don't know anything about EPO. Thoughts on... Yeah, you got it. But, yeah, that was interesting. Had the result of Tour of Bright been different when I was going head to head with that guy, I'd be a lot more pissed off, but managed to get him and do it clean. Hand on my heart, absolutely fucking clean. So it's not one of these follow your dreams, you'll make it stories. Just work fucking hard. One video I'm thinking of doing as well is just showing the shit side of cycling. Like, we all go through it. If you ride a bike, it fucking hurts. You train hard, it just hurts. Do you ever see that? It's not marketed, is it? What you see is, Wiggle High Five kicking up their little heels in the sand and all that sort of shit. Fuck that. Where's their training sessions? Show me that. Show me the shit where they're fucking working really hard to get the results. That's the real stuff. That's what we all see. It's really funny. A few of the TTs I've won, people are, well done, good result. But it's like, where the fuck was everyone else 6 months ago when I was busting an ass? I'm sure everyone can relate to this. But yeah, it's promoted as such a pretty sport. I mean, it's nice. It's good to get out there and all, but shit, you gotta hurt. You gotta fucking hurt. I think we'll see that, in the indie pack, I think we'll see that from some guys as well. So I'm really interested to see the mental side and what's reported, because it ain't fucking smelling roses for the indie pack. Stop on the side of the road with the energy. Yeah. Any news on Zwift for Apple TV 2nd gen? Is it 2nd gen or I got a 4 gen? Gen 4 Apple TV. I think it's only going to be for that. No, nothing as yet. As soon as it's out though, I've got check this out. I got the Elgato capture card. So I can do some picture-in-picture stuff and show it all and get it all working and try and break it. But no word from that yet. Training wheels versus training bike. Yeah, I'd use a race bike all the time if it's set up for your geometry. Yeah, just throw a set of training wheels on it. Do I still race? I raced about 12 hours ago. The video's up tomorrow when it goes up. Any other questions, let me know. I think everyone's getting a bit sleepy like me. Do I have any what? Palliated injury. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. My English isn't really that good. Everyone knows that. Can't you get to Zwift to run an Xbox One? Me, personally? I can't. Not up to me. I'm not officially linked to Zwift in any way. I know the guys. I do a bit of Zwift content, but that's entirely separate to what I do. Technically, it could run on Xbox, but you're looking at licensing issues and code signing and stuff for that platform. I think it's x86. Is it still? Anybody? Any nerds in here with me? I think it's... Thanks for the 5-minute video. Thanks for hanging around. What are we on? 45 minutes now? I think the little ticker says up there. It's getting late. But tomorrow's video goes up in about another 12, 16 hours. Just a race video. I had the camera on the front of the bike for today's crit. Sorry, I'm fingering the camera. I try not to do that. Who are you, Von, ambassadors for? Plug them. Officially, the only contract I actually have is for these guys. They've been long-time supporters of ours for about 6 or 7 years now. And it's just, we get the Subaru, we got racks. Well, all our car was already racked out, but we get bags and things that we need to carry around. Our bike bags, if you've seen us travel. Tooler have looked after us really well, so we love those guys. I mean, they're just sort of, it's active lifestyle stuff. And I can get people mates rates in Australia. So anything I get, any of the associations I have, if I can help, how do I pronounce, they say Tula, Tule, Thule, whatever. But any association I can have that helps everyone else out who follows me and supports me, such as Tula, Tule, Thule, if I get my mates rates and things like that, that's what it's all about. Because I can't stand sponsorships where you see people with, hey, I'm riding these X wheels. These X wheels are so good. Who fucking cares about your X wheels or this or that? If I can get 5% off those wheels, then we're talking. So it's all about affiliate links and things like that. Tula, and then the premium brand as well, so they're pretty handy. There was a question here on the P1s, PowerTap P1s to complement my Tax Vortex or just buy a Neo. Tax Vortex, go the Neo. I like a Neo. Was the Bianchi Maves? No, that was an old one Raul had. X wheels aren't even balanced. Exactly. You're my kind of people. Absolutely. Do you think a vlog from the viewpoint of a bike mechanic that also races would be interesting? For sure, because people are finding my shit interesting and I'm not a bike mechanic. So I'm surprised, but I get it, that there's no one in the industry doing what I'm doing. But I guess somebody said, again, further on that, someone said, should I take my wheels to a bike store and get them to balance it and take the spokes out and make it all? I'm like, yeah, kind of, but bike stores are about volume. They want to sell the bike and piss off. Next guy. That's business. The kind of stuff that I tinker around with and do, and a lot of other independents do on their channels as well, you'll find that it's not sort of commercially motivated. So that's the power of YouTube, which is kind of cool. Hang on, I'm just going to scroll through the questions here. Oval rings, not proven. Well, exactly. That's pretty much the answer. They're like, oh yeah, meh. Until someone can say, yes, oval rings, bang. Caffeine, for example, what is it, 3 to 5 milligrams of caffeine per kilogram of body weight, and there's like 2.5%. It's known. There's studies that say yes. Beetroot juice, yes. Over this, those oval rings, there's nothing that says yes. There's studies that say meh. So until that, changes elsewhere, no oval rings for me. I'm not going to bother. How accurate is Z-Power when using the Cyclops fluid too? It depends. There's too many variables involved. The tire you use, how old your fluid trainer actually is. It gives an indication of power, but it does not give you your proper power. How marginal are the gains from balancing your wheels? So, we haven't got time, sorry, it's getting a bit late here. Let me start again. I don't have the equipment to measure that. It might be a few watts, but to measure that, it's going to take thousands of dollars worth of equipment. All I know is when I measure the wheels, the bike doesn't shake like all shit when I'm spinning the wheels. And if I'm going down a hill, if you've seen my Descending Silverband Falls video where I'm like that and into the dirt and then back up again. Sometimes the wheel does jump off, and the wheels do jump. And if they're like not balanced right and jumping around, that can't be a good thing. So that's the measurable, like you can see the thing moving. As for the watts, I don't know. And I said to someone today, if I knew that, I wouldn't be pissing around on YouTube. I'd be selling the data to wheel companies and making sure they have better equipment. What about rolling resistance for the added weight? Yeah, but it smooths out the system. So if you don't have, if the weight isn't there, let's say it's a lighter wheel, it's going to press down as it sort of moves around. So you're going to get greater resistance in certain spots. It's better to have a system that doesn't, what is it? It's an object in motion will remain in motion unless acted on by an external force. The external force is the imbalance. So an object in motion, it's changing all, yeah. Anyway, if you try and make things nice and smooth, we'll find a way to measure that one day. Give me a smart ass and call foul. Anecdotal evidence of oval chain rings equal to wheel balancing evidence. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Have a look at my video and watch the bike shake like all shit. And then I put the balance on and then it smooths the bike out. That can't be good. The energy's got to go somewhere. Put 80 kilos on there and 14 gram out of balance. Okay, 14 grams though at that distance. If you're going to go technical, let's go technical. 14 grams out here spinning at that speed, it's not 14 grams anymore. And for me, let's just say the rear wheel jumps up and is sort of doing it, it's just not good. If that then skips the chain off the bike, look, you go into a number of different theories. I can put my tinfoil hat on as well. It's aliens, man. Unbalanced wheel sync with oval chain rings. Man, it's time to go to bed. Yeah, look, there's so much stuff going into Raul and talking about what he could do. Look, there's so many projects. But at the end of the day, it's a business. He runs a business, and yeah, this kind of shit doesn't pay the bills at all. Shave legs or wax? If you're waxing legs, you're bloody cruel. Thoughts on latex tubes? Absolutely. Absolutely latex tubes for race wheels and good tyres as well. Is it 2 to 3 watts per tyre for latex tubes? There is data on that. Tubs or clinches? Latex tubes and good rubbers and good clinches. I think Tony Martin ran clinches, didn't he, in the World's TTs for a few years running. So they're getting better. A lot of my race wheels are tubs though, just because that's what they are. Yeah, late night here too, mate. 1 PM in Portugal. It is... I have no idea what time it is. Sorry, I'm just going back to the questions here. This is going to make some absolutely shitty viewing for anyone who's going to watch the live stream later on. Plus my shiny head. Longer crank arms worth moving away from. There's a lot of stuff with crank arm talk about this and that lately. I know triathletes are going to a shorter crank arm because they want sort of the hip angle to be opened up a little more when they get off the bike and have to run. I use 175s on the TT bike and I use 172.5s on the roadie. I really can't tell the difference between too much because I mean there's such an aggressive position on the shiv, which is just here. Set up on the Lamont. All right, got a few more minutes. We've got 129 people watching. Really appreciate people watching. And there's no agenda here. Just talking crap with everyone in the channel on the comments. Maven went live, and I was peer pressured into getting some clothes on and getting up into a live feed. So here it is. Tubeless faster than clinch. There's going to be a few brands were tested. Yeah. Aero bike or standard bike? Depends what for. I'm Japanese. I'm Australian. Do you use Training Peaks? Yeah, I do. I've got premium Training Peaks. I've used it for years and years and years. But chasing numbers is just it gets a bit tiring after a while. I know what numbers I can hit for 5, 10, 20-minute powers, and I track those. That's all I need. So most stuff just goes up on Strava now. I still have a Training Peaks account, but it's just a pain in the ass. And it's depressing when those numbers go down. Ugh. Came here for the jocks and stayed for the nude head. Shit, the wheel balance was class. Yeah, the wheel balance one was interesting. A lot of people calling out on, show us the data. I don't have the freaking data. I can't measure that. But again, the bike doesn't shake. Good enough for me. Well, good enough for Von, actually. They're her wheels. Never use 170mm cranks on a bike. I think they're reserved for midgets, it's like smaller people. Now, Von uses 170s on her TT bike. How much out of 10 do I love Beach Road? I haven't ridden Beach Road for a year and a half. Can't remember the last time I rode Beach Road. I go that way. Beach Road's that way. I go that way to Mount Pleasant. Are aero wheels worth it for TTs at a state level? Aero wheels are worth it to and from fucking work. Aero wheels, hell yeah. All seriousness though, yeah, for sure. The best wheels you can get. Once you go over about 50mm onwards, it's a much of a muchness. So a set of 50s are fine. Always a disc on the back, no matter how windy it is, run a disc. Always. Has Von been out in the balanced wheels yet? No. What area of Melbourne are you in? Are you the guy who's going to come and murder me? One gram of carbs per hour, kilo of body weight per hour. Man, it's 30 bananas. That's all you need to know. Oh, come on, YouTubers. 30 bananas. That's all you need to eat. Nah, look, I'm not going to give out any traditional advice. Not on a live stream. Compact cranks. I ran compact for about 18 months on everything because a 5011 is still bigger than a 5312. So, I mean, you still get a big gear you can kind of wind up. The 34 gets a little bit small though riding around, but yeah, compact. Just going to steal my bikes and massive monitors. They're only tellies. They're only 40-inch tellies. They're nothing special. My favourite, I don't drink beer. I don't drink alcohol. I'm not grown up yet enough. Fruitcake. I ate lots of fruitcake. So I'm just scrolling back through the questions here, guys. So I really appreciate people chiming in. Best setup for an absolute beginner, any bike. As long as it fits right, as long as the gears change right, anything. 8-speed, 7-speed, doesn't matter. Any setup. And then upgrade as you need. 80mm deep sections for racing TT and flat road racer are power. 80mm for a road race though? That's a bit deep. You get that's sort of douchebag territory when someone comes up with some deep wheels. Someone used to race 1080s in a crit. We used to do it at Campbellfield. 1080s. He never won. I want to give you a bag of coffee. I don't need any more coffee. You guys know that. The Garmin 820 is working pretty well now. Firmware 5.20, which was out December, I think. Eastern Suburbs Best Cycling Club. Again, depending on what you want to do and where you want to race, your club doesn't really matter that much anymore. There used to be a big club scene. Now clubs more run events than do sort of anything for their members. Now I'll be burned for that, but it's more, people are doing their own thing now. People are like, Rafa Cycling Club or doing the Dirty Grand Fondo. People are doing different stuff other than just club stuff. Clubs still do provide a lot for juniors. Brunswick Cycling Club, massive for juniors. What Cam McFarlane and Mr. Pink do over there. If you're not following Brunswick Cycling Club on any of their social media channels, have a look at what they do for the juniors. It is unbelievable. So good. So good. Scrolling back. Why has the Giant got Ultegra cranks? Because they're cheap. Absolutely. I pick them up for $160. Set of Durace cranks that are a couple of grams lighter for... And you know how I ride bikes. I put them in the dirt. 1080s are so ugly. Yeah, the rear one looks like it wants to be a disc. It's just not quite there yet. The front one looks... We won't go there. When do you think Shimano and Campy will come out with a wireless group set? I like that question. Hopefully soon. Wires, it's so... Yeah, SRAM and ETAP, that's where everything needs to go. Wires are so last year and the year before and the year before that. And it makes things so much simpler as well. What do I think of Harley running a compact crank and granny gears for the Indy pack? If that's what he needs. Thoughts on Slane's skin suit fetish as of late? He knows what he's up to. They're technical material that are being tested in the tunnel. That's where it's at. If I could buy those, I should actually buy one, shouldn't I? Have I ridden ETAP? Yeah, a little bit. There's a slight little lag that I've talked about on a few videos way back. It's not bad. Why or how is there a Geelong Cycling Club jersey in Zwift? Wow, I've got to do more live questions. These are really, really good. Okay, Zwift came out to Australia about 2 years ago, and I think they looked around and said, well, you know, what clubs are pretty active on Zwift? And I think there are a few St Kilda people, so St Kilda's on there, and I think there are a few Geelong people on there. Sydney Cycling Club, which I don't know any members of, also has a jersey in there as well. I'd say they're legacy things. Matthew Taylor, how am I doing? I'm doing well, mate. Bit tired. It's really late here. HDR jersey, yeah, for sure. Can I recommend a Dynamo for long distance? No, I've never played with any of those things. There's some interesting ones that do, the USB charge ones I saw over at Eurobike were quite interesting. All right, I'll go 2 minutes because I'm getting tired. And my data cap is just from Telstra on this. So entertaining. This is just talking shit. Veronica said. Thanks for tuning in, Veronica. I'll be upstairs soon. 2 minutes is all I need. You and me both, mate. Heart rate monitor or power meter? Both. Both. They're really good to have both data. I've said it a few times. I really love this description of the both. A heart rate monitor is your response to what you're doing. Your power meter is what you're actually doing. And day to day, what you're doing, pressing the pedals remains the same. Your heart rate can change. But that, response monitor versus your work monitor, two different things. 90 seconds. Yeah, data cap, poor Aussies. Yes. Oh, Veronica's tapped out. Damn. Have you used a disc wheel and an indoor trainer? Not even on a warm-up, I don't think. I should schedule more of these lives. They're a heap of fun, and I really appreciate all the questions coming through as well. And you're getting live answers and raw answers. Greetings and good night from Washington, D.C. Hopefully back in the States soon. I don't mind the States. I've had good times in the States. Cheers, Andrew B. See you around. No, I'm in Melbourne, so NBN, another 18 months away. Yeah, the bike work stand, I used it for the wheel balancing video. I just clamped the wheel thing on there as well. So it's a multi-purpose tool, that thing. $20. Yeah, look, I'll try and get a bit earlier. I'm only up here tonight because Mave's channel was up and everyone begged me for some some live content. 30 seconds, thanks for keeping me honest. Zwiftcast Weekly, absolutely, I'm all for it. I can banter this bullshit all day, no worries. I can do 24/7 Zwiftcast. It's a Simon thing though. And it's really hard to have a conversation on Zwiftcast because of the delay, where there's 3 of us around the world for that, so you can't really interrupt someone's conversation with talking over top. But yeah, there's enough stuff we can ramble on about. How many seconds? Who's got the counter? Normalized power versus average power. Both, but average is where it's at. As a TT, I look at average power. Could I create a group ride on Zwift? I can't commit to what I'm doing tomorrow, so committing to a big group ride. I did the ones initially. All right, we'll go another few minutes. I did some group rides initially on Zwift, but they're a lot of work. And I do take my hat off to the people who actually take all the time, like Tim Searle and the crew, Andrew from Performance, who runs a weekly event. They're hard work. All right, I'm getting them wind up. I have Garmin Vectors, RIP, buddy. Sell them. Yeah, get a Powder Max. Look, if you can get them set up right, they work fine. But there's just so many things wrong with those. Having a torque wrench and all that. Thoughts on left-only power meters? Yeah, look, they're an okay solution. They're a compromise. So cheap is always a compromise when it comes to power meter. My first power meter was a wired power tap that Raul cut up the other day. Check out Raul Lucia's channel somewhere linked. For a cheap bastard. Yeah, left only for a cheap bastard. Cyclocross? No, not yet. Same reason why I didn't get into mountain biking fully into it. I'd get too much into it. You guys see how much I'm into the road stuff. I mean, shit, balancing wheels with golf club leads and latex tubes and all these sort of 1%ers, trying to get that for another couple of different disciplines. Not enough hours in the day. Shane here to a sunrise. Nah, guys, that's it. I'll call it a wrap. Thanks everyone for coming along. We had over 100 people sitting in here talking shit with us, so I really appreciate it. And hopefully there's a bit of insight. And apologies for my bald head. I'll go see Shane Warne's, folks. Yeah. All right. Thanks, everyone. See you soon.